So 12th hole is a long hole, probably 490 yard uphill, probably a par 4 on the scorecard. It's really kind of in the transitionary spot on the golf course. The property is kind of a big ridge down the middle with kind of 2 valleys on each side, and that golf course, you hit up on top of that ridge and it's basically flat up there. So it's one of the few flat, if not the only flat golf hole we really have. So coming into that green at 490, it seemed like a good spot for a green that was just on the ground that you could bounce the ball in with some interesting contour. And I grew up on a golf course in Belleville, Illinois called St. Clair Country Club. It was a William Langford course. And it was a pretty hilly golf course. It's on the bluffs overlooking the Mississippi. And so it has a lot of ravines. With this one hole, you literally hit uphill just like that, and you end up on a flat farm field. And the green sits at the end of it. It's probably 440 yards, and at that time was at least equal to 490. And so that green sits there flush on the ground, and I was like, that green really works well for a long hole, and it was always one of my favorites. So that I had that thought and just started messing around with it. And Zach came in, I had built it basically, and Zach came in and saw it, thought it was cool. So we just went with it. And it gives you get the run in flat, but it's got the contour on the left. It's almost a diagonal Biarritz, sort of. It's got the little valley going through, but it doesn't quite go all the way through the green. But it's almost, I think it's actually more interesting to Biarritz, at least the original one. So that was kind of it. So there's just a little touch of Langford there. The green's basically been there. It's just tweaking some of the pin placements just to get, it's kind of cliche, but a game of inches kind of playing golf, but it's building this stuff's a game of inches. If the green's a couple inches off here or there, the pin placement might not work, the ball might kick the wrong way. So I was just trying to get the pin placements to be correct, and then getting the edges of the greens to have the proper little moves that we're trying to get the tie-in moves. And building a green with a well, a USGA green, is not as easy to get some cool contours, because if you want the green to fold over a little crest of the hill, when you build the well, a lot of times if you build the well, this is getting into too much shaping detail, but you tend to stop at the peak of a hill. The green edge will be right on the top of the hill, and then the non-green surface is on the downslope, or there's a peak behind it. But it's hard to get the green to fold over inside of a little well, just a gentle fold over. And that's what I was trying to get, is this little gentle fold over, which is only a couple of inches, but it takes forever. So it was just trying to get that part right. And people look at me like, what are you doing over there still? That's what I was doing. With the USGA green, we now have to put drainage in the bottom, then we put 4 inches of gravel in the bottom of the well, and then we fill 12 inches of sand on top of that. So when we put the sand in, it should mimic everything, but then you've got just a little room to fiddle with the top inch or so. So that's where you get all your tie-ins and all the fine tuning. I mean, I could fine tune that dust up there, but when the gravel goes in, the sand goes in, you're probably gonna lose something. And that's where we play with the little details. So that's when you really can get everything you want. And if you're just building on straight sand where you could just build it on the surface, then you can get all that stuff right at the beginning. But this is a few steps in the process.